Welcome to the Relishing Dead podcast, where we devour everything in the TWD universe. I'm Dawn.
I'm Eliza.
I'm Carol.
I'm Barb.
How are you girls doing this evening?
Hey, babe.
I'm fine.
Good. So I guess
Good.
we're gonna sum up the series, the last six episodes.
You're supposed to tell them the show's over because we told them we all said what we needed to pre-show.
No, the show's over. We already said everything in the pre-show. Have a good night.
Bye.
See you next week.
Welcome, Sean.
Oh my God, y'all are too funny.
I
Come
will have
on,
to
Dawn.
say,
Tell us how you feel.
Tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm trying to put this in the best words I can. So I waited for this. I am the biggest Rick Grimes fan. Everybody knows. Carol, me, we're like sister wives. I'm a huge Rick Grimes fan. And I was really, really looking forward to this series. Like, really, really looking forward. And on a scale 1 to 10, I probably have to give it a 6.
That's generous.
And
Yeah, that's more than what I thought.
Huh?
That's more than what I thought you'd give it.
Because of the episode 5 was the best because of Jadis. That was amazing. 6 or 5 and 2 were probably my favorites.
Yeah.
And 2 because of Nat. And Michonne, I feel like Michonne's storyline was better than Rick's when they presented it. I feel like I was struggling with connecting with this new Rick. And I was wanting that, head tilting, gonna kick your ass, Rick. They're screwing with the wrong people. I wasn't ready for the lovey-dovey romantic. I wasn't used to that. And I love that he reunited with Kaylee Fleming on screen. That was probably a highlight. But I hope there's more. I hope we see more of Rick. I just hope it's not in the romantic lovey-dovey.
So in other words, it was Hallmark meets the apocalypse.
I'm not a Hallmark fan. I don't watch Hallmark Channel. Sorry, girls out there that loved it. I'm a Forensic Files girl, okay?
Yeah. I felt it was, again, they've done this before, too much, too fast to try to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol and I talked that there was a huge gap between when they miraculously MacGyvered all of the CRM and when they get off the plane, that there's too much vacancy, there's too much left unanswered. But they've done that before where they've tried to, like, oh shit, this is the last episode, we got to put everything in there and wrap it up and get it done
and put a bow on it.
Put a bow on it.
There was no bow.
So as soon as I was done watching the episode, I sent a message to the girls, and my first response was, "What the hell did I just watch?"
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want a bunch of hate or anything like that. And don't get me wrong, I liked the episode because there were a ton of close-ups of our hubby Rick. And so, the eye candy was like all over the screen. And I admit I'm that. But my problem with the episode, and I was telling Eliza earlier, if they had just given us like another 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes more of conflict while they're trying to take down the most lethal military force in the world at this point.
Like Okafor says, the most powerful military in the universe.
And it literally took them a half a day to get everything to get the echelon briefing for Michonne to go and look at the thing that was going on in the theater, for them to figure out their MacGyver stuff. It took them a half a day down Deal
Mhm.
to take down the entire CRM and to take down Pearl all in one afternoon. Like it was
Right.
nothing. And Rick and Michonne are a force to reckon with, absolutely. But they fought Negan and the Whisperers
For
longer,
2 seasons.
longer
2
than it
seasons.
took them to take down the most powerful military force in the world.
hmm
Yeah.
That's the problem that I had. I loved the reunion at the end. I thought it was great. We've got our own opinions about the reunion and what we would have liked to have seen, but that's just fan fiction for us. That's what we would have liked to have seen. But I had a problem with the fact that it just doesn't happen. Nobody walked into the damn tent. Nobody was
There was no
watching the gas.
security. There's no
Nobody
Yeah.
was watching the gas.
So
Yeah.
there was so many for me there. I mean, when, like Carol said, when you ended the episode, I was actually expecting, like, for a finale, an hour and a half. But at the end of that episode, my mouth was wide open going, what just happened? There's a lot of missing parts. And like you said, it was rushed.
Yeah.
My biggest complaint is, and I know you guys have your own theories, but there's that emotional Rick that no matter what, seeing his kids after all that time, there was no emotion there. I mean, when he first got off the helicopter and everything, yeah, he dropped and ran like he did the first time when he finally got Judith back, but there was not even one shed of a tear. I know there's mixed emotions. I get that. But the whole series was like it all done in 5 minutes. And that contraption that blew up that CRM, they put together like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then, and then when he pulls the grenade, I think anyone in the military will tell you, Pamela, I know she's in here. You detonate a grenade. If you are within the compression zone of that grenade, you can suffer internal organ damage. And he's right there and detonates it. And, he walks out okay, but everybody else, all the walkers around him, croak. So there was just a lot of, continuity. And I mean, we talked about how Carol and I kind of have the feel of his lack of emotion when he sees the kids. As I felt it was fear of he hasn't seen RJ at all, and hasn't seen Judith since she was like 3 or 4. So I felt there was a little fear there.
But if you think
on
about
one-
his fear, though, he had fear on his knees with Negan, and he was crying like a baby.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
that's a different kind of fear. But Rick's emotional. That wasn't Rick.
Good one, Barb. Good
Yeah.
one, Barb.
I know that's fear because he's about to lose his people, but that's Rick. That's the Rick that we know. And like Dawn said, when Tyrese had Judith, I mean, he ran to her and he was hysterically breathing. When he thought he lost Judith, he was hysterically crying.
Yeah.
So there was not one shed of a tear. There should have been. And I said to her, he got more emotional over the freaking hat on RJ's head than he did seeing the damn kids. He had to fix the hat. It was more emotional for him because I know it was Carl, but
Because it was Coral.
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 Several people in the comments, like Anissa says, to be honest, he's spent years gathering intel and stuff. I get that, but it's not intel because he didn't know about the echelon briefing until that day. So he didn't know what the plan was. And Aimless said Rick took down the CRM single-handed, and that's pretty funny. So there's a lot of people that are kind of have their own things about the gap between.
Who brought up the point? I know we were talking either pre-show or somewhere else about it took Rick, 3 or 4 times to try and escape, and Michonne gets out of there like that. Did you bring that up, Dawn? Talk about that for a second.
Somebody said that in the comments too.
Yeah.
I said, it was so easy for her to get out of there, but Rick's trying like 5 or 6 times. They're hunting him down. He's cutting his hand off, but Michonne just jumps around like nothing.
Not
But
noticed.
that's the most powerful military in the universe.
That's because love doesn't die, Dawn.
Hey, Negan is the most powerful military
Right?
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we know there's an echo. We can't quite figure it out. Does anybody have their phone sitting next to their computers? Eliza, do you have your phone near your computer? I don't know what the echo is, but we'll try to.
Yeah, we had that pre-show. I thought it was just me, but we all seem to have it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. There was shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. But and you had mentioned it, Dawn, there was almost no reason for us to have had World Beyond.
Right.
Because World Beyond built up the CRM. And it was like,
And
you know, they weren't the most formidable military if, you know, Batman and Superwoman can take them down in 15
Because if you
minutes.
think about it, guys, if you watch World Beyond, which I know Anissa and people in there have, when Huck's trying to escape with Hope, think of the details. They went around that truck. I mean, they were looking at her papers, looking it all down. There was nothing in there. There was not even a security guy out in front of Bill's office.
right.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, they made us think it was this big, powerful military, and then you get there and there's like everybody's just running around crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and nobody stopped. And like you said, nobody stops Michonne when she gets up from the briefing, the
Mhm.
film briefing, and leaves. Nobody
And all
stops.
that testing they did, whatever happened with that,
Yeah. I had heard somewhere that they filmed alternate endings.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
So
They
that
had enough
nothing would
money.
get out. Yeah, they had the money
$14.6 million.
per episode. I think they worked hard to try to give the fans what they wanted, which was that reunion with primarily with Judith
Yeah.
and to see RJ. It would have been nice, like you said, Dawn, had we seen a few of the other castmates, because we know that from this happening that it is Rick that Carol says on the radio to Daryl that Rick's back, so where was she, and where was Aaron and all those people.
King, he was taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
Mhm. Aaron,
Well, like I said, with Daryl and with the Daryl episode, I'll throw this out there that I'm kind of hoping that when Daryl comes back to Alexandria, Rick's there, and that they can have that reunite. If he comes back even for like 5 minutes with the reunion, if they want to do that like little ending like they did with the kids, as long as they reunite,
Yeah.
Aaron
So you think
Cameron,
it's more emotional with Rick?
Aaron Cameron in the comments, Rick had the fuck them kids attitude.
And I said I would love for the gates to open, Rick to be standing there, and Maggie and Negan walk in together.
Yeah.
The look on his face.
And I was telling the girls earlier, they could have done one thing that would have tied all three shows together. If when Bill and Rick was having the discussion at the table, if he had a little laptop and turned it around and he seen the same thing in World Beyond of Jenner on that video, can you imagine Rick's face?
That's a good one. I like
I
that.
mean, that would have tied all three shows together.
Yep.
Let me write, please. AMC.
I said,
especially
what was-
since we know in World Beyond they were trying to find something that would expedite the decay of the walkers, and so that would have been perfect to have said, we're trying these test subjects to find a solution, and here's this, to show, and
because we pick it apart so much, I told Dawn, I says we should have like the Lipton question. What do you want God to say at the pearly gates? Go back and you girls have to rewrite the show.
And I seen this, I read this in an article, but did you all think this? Because I didn't think this. On Tales of the Walking Dead, when they had the guy that was doing all the experiments on the walkers, how they were migrating, it said it was set like 35 years ahead. But then Bill said that the world was going to end like in 14 years. And if you notice, there was hardly any people around.
Mhm.
So I kind of thought that was an interesting take on that.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but I'm glad it's so cool you mentioned that because remember, Nat talked about how they migrated,
Hmm.
that they would go down and then they would come back up, So, there was that. I'm glad you mentioned that because it just made me think about that. Nat had said that as well.
Yeah.
The
Can I tell
Mercer
my other-
sword hat tip foreshadowing.
So my other little thing that I wanted is at the ending when Rick sees Judith, if she would have gave him the python. Now, guys, now wouldn't that have been great? Come on.
That
Yeah.
would have been a tear. I would have cried at that.
Yes, the python. Like that
Like
would be
Daryl did?
her being Daryl.
Yeah.
And her giving it to Rick.
Yeah, I would have cried at that.
Yeah.
Kayla, Kayla wants to know what are your thoughts on the PPP card?
I still think it's Philadelphia, Portland, and Paris.
Paris,
And that's
yeah.
the only thing that I can even, because if you think about it, and Jadis was around and they were leaving those cards, maybe they were saying they were going to send test subjects to Portland, Paris, and Philadelphia.
Yeah, and my coworker had said something about the card being where that building was with all those automated lights and stuff, that was the way of getting in that building.
Hmm. I'm just trying to hook it to Daryl. Like I'm trying.
Well, there was
trying.
it was on that bulletin board behind Rick when he was talking to Bill, but nothing that I could see on the bulletin board that identified what it was.
I tried to zoom in and you couldn't see anything.
And why did he take his hand off and leave it? If he hadn't have done that, Thorne wouldn't have figured out as fast what they were doing. I mean, why leave your
Why?
poking hand?
Why?
Why leave your
He
poking-
did it to, like, what's that word I'm looking for? Like, shove it in her face. I got out. I don't know.
That could be.
Yeah.
True, but dang, it was a good weapon.
Yeah, it was. He needed it when those walkers surrounded him.
Yeah, he had a lot of walkers around him and he got out again.
Did y'all see his double?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
pretty hot.
Good Lord, and Greyhound, his double was a cutie patootie. Much better than the double he had in the original show.
No cheating on John, Eliza.
Why, Dawn can have a whole harem of men. She just keeps adding to her tent. I can't
That's what I
add
said.
to
Sausage party.
the sausage party.
My face
Yeah,
is
Dawn
red.
just keeps adding. She's got all the tutors in
Keeps her
line,
young. Keeps her young.
Mm.
All right.
Well, we gotta have more to talk about, y'all. We've only been on 20 minutes.
And the bunny returned. And the bunny returned.
Yes.
Yes, very
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of
it-
callbacks.
I wonder if that was done intentionally since it aired on Easter.
I think they just
Probably.
they just
Show
had
the
a lot-
bunny because it was Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
bunny was everywhere. It was Gracie's bunny.
Well, here we go. Brown
So we're
chicken,
just-
brown cow.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Although I have to say, Michonne looked beautiful in some of these shots, and she's a gorgeous woman anyway. But they really played up her beauty in some of these shots.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's a ton of really, really great Rick shots, all
Mhm.
sorts of eye candy in this episode.
Mm,
Yeah, he's so pretty.
it's so pretty.
I really wanted to know if she was really in love with him or not.
I don't know. I think she kind of had a connection with him, and I like their chemistry as characters and as actors. But you could tell that she was hurt at the end.
Yeah.
Well, didn't she actually say that? Didn't Leslie Brand actually say that she didn't feel that her character had a love connection with him, but more of a kind of like a Carol and Daryl, more of a platonic,
Yeah.
brotherly connection, and I'm sure she felt that betrayal.
Yeah.
She got played. She was salty, Aaron said.
Yeah.
I believe it because she also posted that picture with Rick having the stripes on, and she's like, I didn't do any spoilers. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So I have a question about this. This is one of the many head scratching moments. Did Michonne turn into Spider-Man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't know.
that's the well walker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I went
Yeah.
ahead and took a picture of him because
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
everybody caught that or not, but that was a callback to the well walker.
Yeah. But I
But-
wondered if she had jumped up on those air conditioning units and climbed up or something. But yeah, or maybe it just wasn't a very high ledge. But yeah,
Yeah. Catwoman is Catwoman.
Catwoman. That's what I said. Batman and Catwoman took down the CRM.
And she's also a lock pick too. She's really good at picking locks now, and we didn't know she could do that. Yeah. And again,
I want to know what the letter is underneath Jadis's door.
yeah. So here Rick is starting to talk to Beale, and he's kind of hearing about Beale. Beale never had to do his 6 for 6 or whatever it was that he was saying. you know. But we had some good shots of men.
Renee.
Which she can do anything. I don't doubt it.
I love the artwork in her room. I
Uh-huh.
loved still seeing that part of Anne, she kept going, even in secrecy. And I loved seeing the pictures of Gabriel up on the wall. There was, I think, 2 of them up on the wall of Gabe.
Right. And of course the wire cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yeah, you would think that letter would have been somewhere a little bit more hidden than a very see-through cat.
Uh-huh. Well, and then of course she pulls it out of the cat's ass.
Cat's out of the bag. Yeah.
And then we have all of the dossier that Anne writes or Jadis writes, and Michonne is reading it and getting more angry and more angry
Yeah.
about how he's a natural born leader, and his wife Michonne being a loyalty to Rick.
And I'm going to say highly, she said Rick's wife is a highly something, probably trained warrior.
Yeah, from Wakanda. Then you got more artwork,
Yeah,
and
but I
that's where
did
they
love seeing
write
that
that letter
Yeah.
under the door that Dawn wants to know what was in it. Renee said she knew Michonne would go for the cat because it's just too damn gorgeous. Yes.
She took the last cat, didn't she?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's the most formidable force in the world right now. Most powerful leader.
He made a good walker.
Yes, he
He
did.
did. He really did. I liked his walker. His walker was very crazy.
Yeah, it was very good.
I liked this, that Rick, when he asks him, what's the worst thing that you've done? And, Rick goes through this whole montage of all the things, and you get to see all of those things call back to the original show. And the fact that he picked the neck bite on Joe as the worst thing that he's ever done, I totally dug that. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah. Not killing his best friend, but
Yeah.
and again, it all goes back to Carl.
Mm-hmm. And then they talk over tea. They talk about the echelon stuff, which even the echelon to me was kind of sketchy. It really didn't go into any type of detail that should have been that secretive.
Yeah. No, I think we got more of an echelon briefing with the briefing that Michonne was getting.
Right. We got more information.
We got more information of what they were going to do there, and like 10% of the kids are getting evacuated.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was we got more info there.
Yeah. And like
And
I said,
I did like that flashback where Okafor was telling him, to swear on the sword, but don't let it stick or don't let it take.
right. Like I said, they framed her so beautifully in some of the shots that were just gorgeous.
He looks good there too.
Hell yeah, he looks good anywhere. Thank you. Even with a thought bubble, he looks good.
Yeah, he don't need framed. He just looks good.
He just looks good. So then he kind of goes through this whole thing, and Michonne and the governor, and then they have the tea.
Did you think at one point there was something with that tea?
I did. I thought because he looked at it.
Yeah, and he's picked up
Kinda
real slow.
Up, and you take a little tiny bit out of it,
It gave him the strength to kill Bill.
That's a Kill Bill.
The
So there-
bunny.
Bunny.
There's the bunny. What a great callback that was.
Yep.
Yeah, that
The
was.
bunny that's been around.
Yeah, I thought that was just fantastic. Don't know where it came from. It just showed up. And then some more callbacks.
Yeah.
And that gorgeous cat. And even more
And
callbacks.
wasn't she having the callbacks when she was sitting in the room watching the briefing? Wasn't that when she started having the flashbacks of the kids when they were talking about what they were going to do?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And I liked how they referenced the scene in the top right, because that's from season 1,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where they're talking about where they show the flashback of Shane and Lori leaving Atlanta.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that was Okafor.
Yeah.
That was Okafor that did that.
Mhm.
And I thought that was just really cool. It was a good shot too. So here we have the theater that they're doing the briefing on about what's going to happen in Portland with the kids and all that kind of stuff. And Michonne starts
And
thinking
we've got the green. We've got the
Mhm.
green.
and then they talk about the test subjects and the college campus and what was the other one? Omaha?
Omaha and Campus Colony. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aaron Cameron says it still didn't make sense why they would kill those people. It was because they were draining the resources. They were taking more than they were producing, basically. So they were draining the resources. And I guess they selected the kids probably based on IQ or abilities because they were only taking out 10%. So who was it? Was it in it was Lieutenant Kublik in World Beyond that told them about, was it Omaha? When she was telling that one person that we had to do it because
Mm-hmm.
they were using more of the energy that kid that soldiers she was talking
Right.
about, that
The one
they're
that didn't want to do it.
too much resources, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they're talking about the Beale says to Rick, I'll take in your family, your friends, they'll be okay during all of this.
Yeah.
Rick starts thinking about all of them. And then we get to Michonne, and Michonne's back in the theater, and this kid pops up on the screen.
RJ.
And that's who she thinks of when she sees this kid.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
RJ. And that would be difficult. And then of course Carl, and then Rick pulls out the knife while Beale is talking to him.
He kind of had that look on his face there of, I'm going to get your ass.
Yeah. And then he starts thinking about all of the things that they've gone through.
Yeah.
And there you have
See,
it.
there's your look, Dawn. There's that look.
The
Yeah,
one-
but he didn't follow through with that look.
Swear on the sword. But yeah. And that's when Beale knows that it's going to go
supposed
down.
go like this.
Yeah, the head tilt.
But yeah.
And I
he was
love
supposed
that.
to- oh, he was
I-
supposed to say not today, not tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He didn't. I did like the way that the sword went into Beale's hand, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was because we haven't really seen that kind of thing before, and I just thought that's the kind of reaction you would have is you'd put your hand up, defensive wounds. And
Yeah,
Rick doesn't
yeah.
care. He just slams it right through him. There's the look.
Yeah, yeah.
See, we saw glimpses of our Rick, but not very much.
Mm-mm.
And we know that that's Beale and Painter with the blood. And that was the slowest moving elevator. They wasted all this precious film on a damn elevator ride.
That I'm glad you brought that up because that was one other thing that freaking annoyed the hell out of me. I'm like, come on, get it over with already. Like,
Yeah,
seriously?
I mean, it was just, yeah, crazy. Hi, Rachel. Yeah, Rachel Ballou says the "Are you shitting me?" look, and I hope Rachel is settling into her new home.
Fawn said she was waiting on elevator music. That would have been too funny.
It would have been Stairway to Heaven, and all of us oldies would have been like, "What the hell?"
that would have been hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kayla the rabbit showed up a lot in the mothership
Yeah.
show. But yeah, Gracie had it, but it showed up on a few other places as well.
yeah, the little girl in season 1 at the beginning too, right? Yes, Maria, that was the first time we saw the bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I love the line when Michonne says, "What's in there?" or something like that.
Is that yours?
Is that yours? Yeah, and he just kind of looks at her, doesn't answer.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where Pearl starts questioning what he's up to.
Yeah. Because he basically lied to her and she figures it out, because he said he's gone off to do his thing and she knows this is where he goes to do his thing and he's not there. He shouldn't have left the hand.
No. We shouldn't have. And we have more thoughts of Rick.
Of course.
Yeah. Because I'm the one who
MacGyver.
And then they MacGyver this great grenade thing, which I think was brilliant.
Yeah, and having the walkers going opposite directions to pull the chain. Yeah, I mean that was a brilliant MacGyver move, but like Barb said, how the shit did they set that up in 5 minutes?
Like I said, half a day.
It was
That Nate told her well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how long was she with him? Well, she was with him for a year, so we can only assume that he taught her a lot of stuff while they were together in the mall. So
Yeah.
anyway, Zanette has a question. Go ahead, Zanette. Ask your question in the comments while we go through this. So Pearl has that look of, oh my God, he's at it again. He's
that
doing,
oh fuck.
yeah, that oh fuck look. And there's the hand in the window. And I love this, but I don't understand. Where were the guards?
In that meeting. They're all in that meeting.
I'm
So-
sorry.
even with the revelry of the troops here that are all kind of falling into formation for obviously Bill or somebody to come out and do a speech. You're right. They would have at least had somebody at post around those tents.
Yes, absolutely. You don't just leave all that gas just sitting there in a tent just so you can go and listen to some general talk about what you're going to do.
Yeah.
That's not how the military works.
And that was their demise.
Yeah. Beal made a great Walker. A
Mhm,
great
mhm.
Walker. And I really like the concept of how they rigged this. I thought this was really
Yeah,
cool.
that was really cool.
Yeah. But it just was so fast. I just don't get it. And then Pearl shows up. And kaboom. There you have it. That's the end. Everybody can go home.
And all they did was cover up with a tarp.
Yeah, and they lived. So
Yeah,
did,
And they lived. Yeah.
and Thorne
Yes.
wasn't even under a tarp.
Yeah.
Well,
Xana,
and
we
even-
don't know what
and
happened to Heath, but we're all still wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even Pearl lived. You know, she lived through it too because she shows back up with her mask on.
Yeah. Yeah, they're under the tarp with the water. And which miraculously saves them.
Yeah. He looked like Frankenstein to me, the way he had his hands.
So we were talking earlier about this scene, and this is a throwback from when Rick got attacked by the walkers at the carnival.
Mhm.
And Michonne sees him being overtaken by all these walkers, and she
Yeah.
drops the sword in just like disbelief that it's happening again. So that was another callback there.
But he survives a close impact
Mhm.
concussion with a grenade.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But you see all the blood and guts along the sides of the containers there.
Yeah.
I thought was cool. All right. Now, I don't know if everybody will agree with me in the comments, but this shot right here, I think is a callback to the tank shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
And
first
yes,
thing I
you're right.
thought of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, Michonne did say it dissipates quickly. So yeah.
A lot of callbacks, but yeah, that was the first thing I thought of was the tank scene.
Was it?
Mhm.
So we know that Rick is nervous because his hand is shaking in the helicopter. So it kind of sets it up for, him being a little scared to see the kids and to see everybody because he's going back home. Or at least we think he's going back home, or he's going to the Swiss Alps to sing The Hills Are Alive. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. So we know that, and Michonne's got the phone in her hand.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It might have been answered and I might have missed something, but because he had that artist draw that, how the hell did he know what Judith looked like to this day?
I still
I
don't know.
think just put a hat with long hair.
Yeah,
That
I
was
think
so
just
close though. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So they get out of the helicopter. I say the word so many times. I hate it. They get out of the helicopter, and to me, this was a callback to when Rick shows up in season 1 and Carl starts running towards him. It's that same type of feel.
Yeah. The kid, yeah, Carl ran to him there and the kids are running. But the
then
kids
they
are
run to
running more to Michonne.
which I didn't have a problem with that. I thought that was fine because she's the one who raised them. Well, her and a whole village, but she's their mom. So, they of course would run directly to her, just like Carl did to his dad. And I thought that was a very subtle callback to that episode.
And yes, and that's something that we've talked about amongst ourselves is that the casting of Kaylee Fleming, especially as she's gotten older, and how she does tend to remind you of Lori
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
as she's gotten older. So that's a very astute observation because we actually talked about that as well.
Right.
Yeah, because every time I look at her, I think of Lori.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You don't think of Shane?
No,
Nope.
she doesn't have his ears.
Eliza might.
Aw.
Anything makes her think of Shane.
Yeah. You're.
I loved this of the two of them finally being on screen together. this is what everybody wanted. This is what the fans wanted. This is the studio giving us what we wanted right here.
Mhm.
Was this connect between the two of them?
Me too, Amber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elizabeth,
Tell them about that, Don. Tell them about that.
Okay, so if they can spend $14.6 million an episode, you got to think, guys, a lot of it was in the woods, a state park. Like they weren't, the explosion was CGI.
Yeah.
$14.6 million. They couldn't pay Gabriel or, the King or Cooper or anybody to be there. Unless they're saving it for something bigger, but I just can't see the kids running out into the woods with no supervision.
Or not having told somebody at
Yeah.
least. And then
they had to
somebody
get
not
there
wanting to
somehow.
come.
Yeah.
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 Carol knows somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, of course, I'll get to it in a second. But there's the hat.
I think he had more of an emotional connection to the hat than he did seeing his own kids.
Well, and I think that goes back to Carl.
I know. I'm just
And
saying.
I think he was thinking probably in his head it went from Carl to Judith to him, and that's why.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
his lineage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot, but there's a Rick in there that's emotional, and it wasn't there at all. Whether he had fear or not, there should have been some emotion.
Yeah, he should have. It should have been. This is what they should have done. They should have played the same music from season 5, No Sanctuary, when Rick sees Judith alive. They should have played that same music, and they should have flashed back to that. If they're going to do flashbacks, let's flash that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think he should have ran to Judith, and I think they should have had that tender moment where he did that crying, where he was so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Because he kept her alive since season 3. Everybody did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I felt like they should have had more of a emotional, like sobbing kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So this is what my thought is. All right. So this picture on the right.
Mhm.
Okay. You see the kids, they're running up over this, they're running on an incline, and they crest over and they see their parents, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So why in this shot in the as they're pulling back and you see the wider shot, why couldn't there have been a wider shot to where there's a group of adults from Alexandria or Commonwealth now of Ezekiel and Cooper and people from why couldn't they have been off to the side hugging each other and being witness to what was going on?
Yeah, and that's aimless. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, because to me, I would think that if a whole entire community like Alexandria, or all the people now are at the Commonwealth, all of those people that have gone through all 11 seasons of the mothership, if they heard the words, Rick is alive and he's on his way home, there would not be a damn thing that could stop me from going with the kids.
Right.
Exactly.
Especially Carol.
Especially
Carol, because she was one of the originals.
Right, but she may be off. I don't know. Well, because we think that she's the one who said on the radio he's back. We think that. But if that's not who she's talking about, and she's off looking for Daryl, but I think that part of it, that the Daryl Dixon stuff, is actually not happening at the same time as this. I think it's happening after this.
Yeah, I agree. So I think she was there when Rick came home, and that's what she told Daryl on the radio.
That's your sweet ass,
Carol. Yeah, because she was one of the originals, and Aaron, picked up with them in Alexandria.
Yeah.
They're just
And like I said, with the whole Daryl Dixon, I mean, he went off to go see Rick. Why stop and hang out with freaking nuns? Go look for Rick.
Go look for Rick.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think maybe he's come to the conclusion, being over there now, that maybe he just came to the conclusion that he's gone. and he's moving on.
God, I hope not.
Mm-mm.
Until
know.
he sees Carol.
Of course,
she
Carol will
tells
go,
him
you need
Rick's
to get your
back.
butt back home
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, because your
She'll
brother's
be
still
the-
alive.
She'll be
again,
the one to tell him. Yeah, she'll be the one to tell him that Rick's home and we need to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
We
it
need to
goes
go-
back to my theory of what's going to happen is that, they finish this. Now we're going to do Dead City and Daryl Dixon. And then after those two shows end, then we're going to have one final, either it be an episode or a season or whatever. I think that to bring it all together. And I thought the last season, the last episode is Morgan and Rick. And that's what finishes it off is Morgan and Rick.
I'm gonna ask in the comments and the viewers, would you want them all to be together and just end it, or do you keep wanting these spin-offs that's just taking us in all these directions? What do you guys think?
I don't
Are
know
you
if I want more
audience?
spin-offs. I'd like more tales. I'd like
Yeah,
more individual vignettes. Yeah.
Backstories.
No, I'm just talking about more like Dead City, like this. Like I want them to all
So
be
yeah. Renee is spin-offs. Aaron is have a reunion and end it. I want the reunion and then a new beginning to a new world.
I don't want it to ever end.
I want some closure. Like
Yeah.
either people die and I can move on and maybe love new characters. You know what I'm
I
saying?
want it to go on for 84 years.
Yeah. Instead of just like
84
one character
years.
I love and they kill them in the same episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I don't think I want a bunch of spinoffs. I think I just want what I have said, just finish it, But give us that last either episode or give us that last mini series or last season of them coming together and fighting one more big baddie or whatever, on the journey to get back to each other, and then finally give me that last everybody's together again.
And I think that's what's going to
Mhm.
happen when Daryl goes back to Alexandria. I think that's what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Because like Dwight and Sherry, from Fear are on their way back to go to the sanctuary. I think they're all going to come together, and I think we'll see Rick again.
Right.
And then if they want to do, a show, the New World or something like that, carrying it forward somehow. But I would.
I always wanted them to start over, like start at Apocalypse right in the beginning with new characters and just do a different storyline.
Like they did with
And I
Fear.
think, that's what
Yeah.
they did with Fear. Yeah.
Well, then you need to write that, Dawn.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would love the idea of being able to go back and look at like how Negan worked and became the Saviors. How did he get the group together? How did he form that? How did, Abraham and Eugene and Rosita, what was their journey like? Because we know that they came across Althea at some point and she videoed them from Fear.
Tyrese and Sasha. I'd like to
Right.
see their
The thing is, if
backstory.
they wait too long, these
Yeah,
characters
yeah.
are going to be too old.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, the Tales could do a lot as far as just backstory vignettes.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah,
Daryl ugly crying.
Rachel said, "Shit, we thought that we cried last night. Wait until he sees Daryl."
Mhm.
No doubt. That
He
would
gonna
be.
ugly cry like he did before.
Mhm.
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 Oh, and this is said start the beginning of the apocalypse with Nat's group.
There you go.
That
I
would be
think that's like, I want to see somebody else's journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who was it? Somebody said Aaron Cameron said, I fear they are going to ruin it doing too much. And yeah, that's a real big possibility. That's why I don't know about any more spinoffs right now. Let's finish the ones that we have.
Yeah.
Then focus on new stories.
because I feel
Yeah.
like the writing's getting sloppy.
It is.
And I
So-
don't like that. Us as fans, I mean, I'm thankful they gave us what they did, but
Yeah.
we're smarter than that as fans, and they should know that we're gonna just rip it apart, you know? Like
Yeah.
give us intelligent writing. We know we're not
And-
dumb.
And the
Don't-
word sloppy definitely showed in this last episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that Dawn needs to write some fan fiction. We have several family members that could film it, and we could all do it, and we just create our own. How's
We'll
that?
just send it to AMC.
And we'll just send it to AMC, or we release it ourselves on Facebook and YouTube. How's that?
There we go.
Do it.
There we go.
Do it.
Okay.
Well,
Go
that's what-
have fun.
Aaron and Renee says I'm in. Aaron says fuck yes.
AMC can ride the pony for years, but Gimple's one-liners are getting weak. Yeah, I agree, Aimless.
Yeah. Well, and like we talk, like, you know, he killed off Glenn, so it's like they're shy now of killing anybody off.
I hate that. Oh God, I
know.
hate
Like, you're all killing me. Like, I could have even accepted if Rick got bit and died. I could have accepted it. I didn't want it
right.
because I wanted to see him to get back with Daryl, but it would have been a big impact.
Mhm.
Or even Michonne. Or even
Yeah.
Michonne.
Yes.
To have made it home long enough to have seen the kids, you know.
Yeah. Y'all know how we feel about Michonne dying.
Me and Carol's moving
Oh.
in.
And Carol's moving in. Oh my God.
We can
Wow.
take care of him. Shoot, Negan's wife ain't got nothing on us, right?
Hey, we've been in that bathtub.
That's right. We've been in that bathtub.
And the shower,
And
and
the
the
shower,
bedroom.
toilet.
Y'all,
Yeah.
y'all nasty.
Yes, more skid mark. Yes,
More skid mark.
absolutely. I'll cut a bitch for Rick. Wow, who's that sound like, ladies?
All right, all right. You go,
Oh, that's
Renee.
funny. Good job, Renee. Funny as hell. Yeah, more skid mark. We need more skid mark for sure. Anyway, so that's it for the slides.
That's it for the series.
That's it for
That's
this.
it for the whole show.
So what y'all think about the preview for Daryl Dixon?
So,
I liked it. I liked it.
Oh,
so can I just say, okay. Carol's my girl. She's, oh, all right. So we see the preview. Daryl and his little group in France are starting to shoot up all these people and everything. And then the back of the truck, the tail goes down. And there's people in the truck. But you only get a glimpse of maybe 2 of them. You don't know if there's more or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut to Carol doing her thing with the motorcycle. And she's pissed off because somebody's got Daryl's crossbow. And ain't nobody going to touch Daryl's crossbow except Daryl. And then it stops. So my thinking is that the Daryl interaction with the guys on the truck is happening in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol with the motorcycle has happened already in the past.
Past. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that Carol is gonna be in the truck.
Yeah.
And I love like Daryl's like, hey. He's like, come on. They're all just standing there. He's like, come on.
I know. Come on.
It made
Yeah.
me think of Negan and the Saviors. I mean, it just went.
So I'm very excited for the Book of Carol. Absolutely. I am excited for this.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Yes, Destiny, we know you can't wait. We know.
And yeah, we think that Carol is in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. It's going to be good. And we'll finally get
Melissa
to
McBride's my birth sister.
yeah, we won't get to see all that lovey-dovey smoochy stuff. We're going to see badassery.
Yes.
That's right.
Unless they throw the
That's
nun
right.
in.
Unless they throw the nun in.
The nun's
Shit.
gonna get jealous. The nun's gonna get jealous.
The nun. Oh,
Mm.
got me on that
All right.
one.
Barb, you got some trivia?
Oh, wait. Yes.
No, we got some questions first.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hello.
Ho, ho.
Nope,
Hello.
the other one. There you go.
Oh.
So each time we have a guest on, I've always wondered what the girls would have answers to. So I figured at the end of our little episode ones, we could ask each other a question, just one. None doesn't have to be anything that has to do with the Lipton questions. So I thought that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to start? Dawn?
No, because I'm not ready. You go.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your
So-
idea.
Yeah. Okay. So Carol, I think I already know the answer. What physical feature do you like best about yourself?
My hair.
Do it.
We both said that.
Okay. Eliza,
Oh.
first thing that comes to your mind when you think of the word friendship.
You guys.
Oh,
No.
You guys.
awesome.
My awesome dead family.
Awesome answer. Dawn,
Mm.
this is oh shit. If you were stranded on a desert island and you can only
Rick
have
Grimes.
one female actress, dead or alive, who would it be? Because I know we talked about male actors and stuff. So I want to know who your female, dead or alive, actress would be.
God.
Michonne.
There wouldn't be enough people. There wouldn't be enough room on a deserted island for Dawn if they were male actors.
That's
It's
true.
all about the sausage party. I had to find out what female actress she would get stuck with, and it would be okay.
I'm gonna have to be pondering on this one. Mm.
That was a good
Not
one.
deny.
She's pulling a Liz Saunders right now.
Yeah, really? Like, fuck.
You might have to
She had the
circle
man lined up.
back.
Oh, Don Guapo is in the comments. Hi, honey.
Who is?
Ain't them Guapo.
Hubby.
Hubs.
Yeah, Renee, that's mine. Melissa McCarthy for sure.
Yes.
I love her. Let me come back to
Yeah.
you, Dawn.
I mean, my mind just went blank. Like,
Okay.
Aimless said Sarah Wayne. She has Andy Intel.
All right. We'll come back to you on that one, Dawn. Dawn, you
was it
might
an
as well.
actor or just was it an actress or just any?
I'll go with any female. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to make sure I was answering it correctly.
Yeah, if it was an actress. Yeah.
Let's see if you just said a regular person. Easy, but
Well.
you said actress.
It was so hard for you, so.
Because I don't have a lot of
I know. That's why I asked you.
actress. Probably my favorite female actress, and I mean it would be weird, is Vivian Lee because I love Gone with the Wind, but I don't know if I could be stranded on an island with her.
We make you some awesome dresses with the
Fiddly
lead.
dee. Fiddly dee.
I just
No, because me and Dawn had a discussion about all the men. I'm like, well, what about the female? You know, no, my dinner party is going to have all these guys at my table. So that's why I asked her that.
I can't.
Yep.
There's no.
All right. Well,
I know who my crush is. I just remembered. I can't think of her name, but she's on the tip of my tongue. But I love her. She's in Face Off.
Oh,
She has those beautiful lips. Oh, who is she? What's her name? Do you know who I'm talking about?
It was in
I know the movie. I just can't think of the.
Nicolas Cage movie, Face
Yep.
Off. Are you looking that up, Carol?
I am. There's a couple of them. Gina Gershon.
Yes, her. I'm telling you, I have mad crush on her. She's
Yeah,
awesome.
she's hottie.
Yeah.
Notice out of all the females, she was the one I picked because I kind of knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Dawn, go ahead. Your turn.
I'm not good at this one. Okay. Barb, if you had to delete one series that you could never watch again between Little House and TWD, which one would it be?
TWD.
Ooh.
TWD.
Oh wow.
Little House is my first love.
House is the first love.
That's easy for me. And it's, the best pa in the world. So,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That was fast.
I know.
I kind of knew that.
It's my first love. So, it's of course it was a good one though, the Dawn. Okay.
Yeah.
It was
I knew
good.
I thought it would be harder than that.
Well, I've binge watched The Walking Dead like 60 times and probably 3,000 on Little House. So there's no competition.
Good Lord and Greyhound.
Yeah. Okay.
Eliza, what 3 actors, not actresses, actors would you have at your dinner table?
John Bernthal.
John Bernthal, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Naked, and naked.
John Bernthal, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and John Travolta.
Oh.
2 Johns and a Jeff.
There you go. JJJ. He has the JJJ card instead of the PPP card.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, let me see with Carol. See, I'm making this up as I go, except for Barb's, because I was thinking really hard for Barb's because it's hard to trick her. I'll have you 3 musicians that you would have at your birthday party.
3 musicians or 3 groups?
Musicians.
Okay, so the first one would be Prince. The next one would be Cher. No, scratch that. The first one would be Prince. The next one would be John Denver. And the third one would be Neil Diamond.
John Denver. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love
I have-
John Denver.
I have emotional ties to John Denver. So, yes, John Denver.
Oh, I love John Denver.
Yes.
All right, Carol,
Yes.
you're up.
I'm up.
Yeah.
She's taking her sweet time over there.
All right. Let's see. I'll go this way. Barb, what is your favorite cheesy joke?
Really?
Yeah, really.
If I can remember it, it's the tomato joke. It's where the mother tomato, the father tomato, and the baby tomato walking down the street, and the father steps on the baby and says, "Catch up."
Ketchup.
That's the one that came to. That's the first one that came to my mind.
I gotcha.
I love it.
Catch up.
I love Barb's sense of humor, so that's why I asked that one. Okay. Dawn,
I don't know.
if a song played every time you walked into a room,
Oh my gosh.
what song would it be?
You gotta make her think, huh?
You're all giving me a hard one.
Easy street.
You dropped the bomb on me,
Baby.
baby. Oh,
Return of
Ricky,
the
you're
Mac.
so fun.
What
What?
was it?
Return of the Mac.
Nice. Nice. I love it. All right. And Eliza, if someone wrote a book about you, what would be the title?
Mess in the Jungle by Who Slung Dung.
I love this. These are great.
Mess in the Jungle by Who Slung Dung.
I love it. All right. Those are my 3.
All right.
Oh,
Carol, favorite
Who?
position?
Me?
Yeah, Carol, favorite position to sleep
Position.
in.
She hesitated.
To sleep in.
Wow, we're gonna talk about some kink tonight. Okay. That was close.
Like a Barb.
I'm like, what?
So everybody lean in because Carol's going to school. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
My favorite position to sleep in is on my side
Oh.
with a pillow and
Oh.
one leg.
Yeah.
Let's see if I
You
can.
gotta have the body pillow.
You gotta have the pillow, and then you gotta have the leg like curled up around it. You know,
Yes.
that's it.
Dawn, do you have a nickname?
Not really. I mean, the only nickname that I have is my mom because my first name's Victoria. My mom will call me Tori, or people in my family will call me Tori, but I really don't. Or D.
D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Barb, if we're gonna make a drink after you, what would be your drink? And what would be the name of your drink? Or what would be the name of your drink?
whiskey.
Nice.
Does whiskey go with Diet Coke? No.
Yeah.
No, whiskey.
Yeah.
God, I got to think alcohol. I wouldn't even know what to mix because I drink beer. But I don't know, some kind of pineapple liqueur. Because I love pineapple, more maybe like watermelon liqueur and something fruity and yummy and sweet. Sweet, something sweet. And it's called the Ross Passion.
The Ross.
Ross's Passion. I love it. Ross Passion.
I don't know. That's a hard one because I have no. How the hell do you mix drinks?
Yeah, now we got to come up with something, people. In the comments, somebody, we got to come up with a drink for the camp that we call the Ross Passion.
Ross's Passion.
Ross's Passion. Yep, exactly. There we go. Ross's Passion. I love it. That's great.
Yes, Kayla, we all have to try this drink at camp. Absolutely.
Give me a Ross Passion.
Oh, these are going to be fun every week.
Oh, that was
Thank
fantastic.
you. I love it. Because like I said, I've always wondered what we would say to those questions, those answers. And we all know a lot about each other, but I just thought this would be fun
Yeah,
for sure.
hysterical.
Yeah. This is great.
All right.
So anytime we don't have a guest, do you want to do that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you ready for this?
Everybody ready for some trivia?
Ready.
All right. First person to answer correctly, I'll have up some cute little prizes. Carol, Lisa, and Dawn, watch the comments. Okay, we're going back
And
to
everybody, please be aware that there can be delays. So just keep in mind, we're trying to be as fair as possible.
And plus,
yeah.
your comment first. And it doesn't matter. If you comment, you're going to see it first on your side.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah. I've played a lot of trivia games, and I used to get like, wait a minute, my answer came up first, like so as 5 times out of 10, and they're like, not on our end. So we get it. Our lag does suck, so we apologize. But I forgot what I was going to say. But all right, so cute little prizes I'll have. Okay, we're going to go back to Little House on the Prairie. I mean,
Yeah, she isn't watching TWD anymore.
Right.
blueberry schnapps and Sprite.
Oh, Rachel.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Okay.
Nice.
Do they have watermelon schnapps? No. Okay. Okay, we're going back to season 5. Mr. Edwards.
Shameless has already answered it. Mr. Edwards is the answer.
Okay. Season 5, The Walking Dead. Shortly after Beth died, what did Carl find and give to Maggie? Whew. I'll say it one more time. Shortly after Beth died in season 5, what did Carl find and give to Maggie?
Anissa got it. Music box.
Mhm.
Anissa, congratulations. All right. We're going to season 9. This is going to be fast fingers. What were Rick's final words? What?
The finger.
There you go, Destiny.
I found them, Destiny. Congratulations. All right, third and final question. Who eventually helps Judith put the handprints back together? The handprints on the wall fell apart.
We got people still coming up with
I know.
Aaron, I got Aaron. You got Aaron?
Yeah.
Who?
Aaron Cameron.
Gotcha. Yes, it was Rosita.
Yep.
Congratulations, guys. I didn't need any backup questions. Woohoo!
Job.
You guys were
All
quick.
right, so ladies, next week, get your next 3 questions ready because that was fun.
Next week we have a very special guest. And I think his name is Matt. No.
Do you even watch TWD, Eliza?
Oh no.
I got
No,
to say that to Carol earlier.
No, right.
Yeah, she did.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So next week we have Steve Coulter, who played Reg Monroe. And he's also been in Oppenheimer, and he has been in The Conjuring. But the girls here know him as Reg Monroe, supposedly married to somebody named Deanna Monroe.
Yeah.
But we will have Steve Coulter next week.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited about
he was scheduled to come to camp one time, and I was so excited to meet him, and then he had to cancel.
it. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to getting to visit with him. And then the next week we have Lou Temple,
Oh,
Axel from the prison, and then the next week we have Josh Mickle, played
Mhm.
Jared,
who's going to be at
So,
the camp?
who will be at the camp. Yeah. So we have a couple of special guests ahead of us. So be
Yay.
sure to tell your friends to come on by.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
hit
'cause you'll
that
get-
like button. Hit that like button.
Because you'll get to know a little bit more about us too.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We'll ask Barb her favorite position next week.
I'm not answering.
All right.
We like to thank our Patreons and financial supporters of our show. Destiny Larmore, Terry and Kay Collier, Sandy Morrison, Tracy Killen Stokes, Ben and Melissa Gilbert, Pamela Blythe, Marion Craig, Brandon Kay, Jason Cohn, Wesley and Sarah Hale, Randy Nickel, Jasmine Mullins, Edward and Diana Ponce Krupa, Melissa Patterson, Casey and Katrina Florg, Jason Hill, and Dustin Baker. And our very own ride or die there, Casey and Oscar.
Oops.
And we have a link for a Patreon if you want to be a Patreon. And then I got this really cool t-shirt that you get that our very own Marianne made.
I love that shirt. I can't
Love
wait
it.
to get it. Love
Really
it.
cool. And it says, I relish the dead.
Fawn
And-
wants to know, how do you become a Patreon, Dawn?
We have the link. And the link on there, we can post it in the, because I
Uh-huh.
think it's hard to see in the group page. I
Okay.
think you have to search it, don't you, Lisa?
I'll make a post of it on Facebook. On
Okay.
our-
So we are on Facebook. We have our Facebook podcast page, and then we have our Facebook group page where we play our games and you get to win prizes. But if you could please, if you are in our group page, go like our podcast page. We're trying to get to 1,000 before camp, so we really want to celebrate that. And we are on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and Twitter
And why do they want to become a Patreon, Dawn?
because they can hang out with us and learn all kinds of crazy stuff.
Let's be real, they can hang out with us anyway.
Yeah, but
And it helps if I spell it right.
yeah, it's we just like to give back to you all. Everything that we get in Patreon money, we give back to you in prizes, and we do pay for events and photo ops.
Right. And
Yeah.
one last question. Who was it? Tina Steinberg said she had a question for us. Rather than position, what is your most prized possession?
Say that one more time.
Rather than position, she
Oh.
wants to know, what is your most prized
That's what you said.
possession?
Other than
No, rather than.
my parents' wedding bands.
Oh,
My most prized possession is my father's practice keyboard and his accordion.
I do have my parents' wedding bands and my mother's engagement ring. So yeah, that's my prized possession.
Yeah, Aaron. Dawn looked at Rick. I know.
yeah.
I
Well,
was
like,
gonna say that.
my parents are
She's like-
still alive, so I don't have anything of theirs yet because they're still living. But probably my prized possession that I have right now is I have the hat, and it's signed by Andrew Lincoln and Kaylee Fleming, and I'm taking it to the camp to get it signed by Chandler.
I guess my prized possession that's not TW related is my dad gave me his class ring a month before he passed away. So that means a lot to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Renee said hers would be her Rick and Michonne sleeping bag.
That's so funny. All the DNA up in that thing.
I know. With my luck, I'd try to reproduce Rick and it would be a Michonne. All right. I think that's it.
Thanks,
Yep.
guys. This was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being with us again and keep coming
Let-
back and keep sharing the love.
Letting us vent on the last episode.
Yeah. And always be kind to one another when you can.
Yep. All right. Good
All right.
night.
We love you guys.